Let's get on to tax reform, which I know our viewers care about. President Trump is predicting Senator Jeff Flake will oppose the tax bill in a tweet. He writes this weekend. Senator Jeff Flake, who is unelectable in the great state of Arizona, quit race, anemic polls, was caught purposely on mic saying bad things about your favorite president. He'll be a no on tax cuts because his political career anyway is toast. Senator Flake's camp says he is still reviewing the tax reform bill. Congressman, what's your take on this? Are there going to be personality conflicts that get in the way of moving this thing forward?
I hope not, Maria, because that's not when people get elected. You're elected to serve your constituents. And so it just enrages me that someone would say, I'm going to vote against what I campaigned on and what would be good for my constituents because I have a beef with the president or whoever. That's not the way you're supposed to do business. We saw some of that coming out when the Senate did the health care debate. I think that was a total disaster. So we have a chance right here to really set a foundation for economic growth that'll help a lot of Americans get jobs, keep jobs, open businesses, maintain businesses, have more businesses come back to the United States. These are really big issues, and to let your personality conflicts trump the day, I think would be a huge mistake.
Congressman, what's your read of what's happening in the other chamber right now? There's 6 senators who are on the fence, and the Senate needs 4 of them in order to get a deal done. Do you think they're going to get the 4, and where the compromise is going to come to get those 4?
Well, I'd probably be willing to bet with your money that they'll get it done. I don't know if I'd be willing to bet with my money. I just think that they've had a tough time this year getting anything done. And so this is really a test for the folks in the Senate. You got a lot of people who've been in Washington an awful long time over there, and can they actually produce? You know, say what you want about the House, but the House has not only done a repeal and replace of Obamacare, repeal and replace of Dodd-Frank, the tax bill, and then other things like sanctuary cities and Kate's Law. So the House has done a lot of what we promised, and we have to do more. Senate has done very little legislatively, so I think that this is really an important test for them. There's not a single Republican in either the House or Senate who ran for office saying our tax code was good. Everyone thinks it's a disaster on the Republican side. Well, you have a chance to do something about it. I think the issue, the 2 issues that I see in the Senate side, one is how they treat the pass-throughs. How the House did it with this 70-30 ratio, that was controversial. A lot of small business people didn't like that, and I know there's been some concerns in the Senate. I'd like to see that 70-30 done away with. I'd like to just see a 25% rate. And then they're phasing in the corporate income tax cut to 20% starting in 2019. I don't know that that's really the best way to go about getting some economic growth now. I think that will change a lot of behavior in the short term. So I'm hoping that they're able to just go with 2018 with the 20% rate.
By the way, if they can't get this done, what do you guys think? I think, with all due respect, Congressman, whoever got in the way should all be fired. If you can't get, I mean.
And this is why
you cannot get this done, you should be fired.
Yes.
When you look at this, though, this is part of the problem between the House and the Senate. The House, we all have to run every 2 years. The Senate, you see people who aren't in cycle this time.
That's
and
right.
so, and if you look at a lot of Republican members, the 2 years they're in cycle, their voting record is demonstrably more conservative than the 4 years they're not in cycle. And so when people and voters see that, that just adds to the cynicism about what goes on in Washington.
All right. We will leave it there. Congressman will be watching the developments, obviously. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Congressman Ron DeSantis there.